Hey guys, what's up? Magic in the basement here. Doing a video on my tribal dragon deck, my commander tribal deck. Um, but first off, I want to talk a little bit about the contest I'm doing. I'm giving away. There was some confusion, I guess, on my last one, maybe because it was in two parts, sadly, because of the technical error. Um, so I figure I want to just go over it really quick in this video to try to clear up some things. Okay. Um, First off, the giveaway will be for a TCG player gift card, and it will be in the form of a digital code. So there will be no shipping. So whoever wins it will get it as soon as we exchange emails and I send them the code. So pretty quickly. Um, all right, so that's number one. Number two is how you enter is simple. If you're a subscriber, you get one entry into the contest automatically. Okay, so everyone who's a subscriber, I will put what I'm gonna do. How I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna write names on land cards because I have tons of land cards, and however many entries you have is however many times I will write your name on a different land card, and then I shuffle them up like a deck, and then I draw, and whoever wins the draw will get it. And I'll be doing this on camera, so everyone will be able to see who wins, etc. All right, so that's that. Now, if you're a subscriber, you have one entry, so that's one name on a land card. If you comment, if you what I was saying on before was if you comment on the video, that's an entry, but then it was in two parts, so people weren't sure which part of the video to comment on. So what I'm gonna do is, if you we're gonna switch it to this video. So if you comment on this video, that's an entry, okay? And so that would be another way that if you are a subscriber and you comment on this video, you would have your name on two land cards, so you get more chances of me drawing your name. Okay, so that's an entry. Um, Now, if you're a Patreon of level 1, you get 2 entries. If you're a Patreon of level 2, you get 3 entries. And if you're a level 3 Patreon, you get 5 entries. Okay, so a level 3 Patreon would that subscribed, obviously, and comments would have 5 entries. That means I would write their name on 5 different land cards as before I shuffle up, so they would have a higher chance of winning. Okay, so that's all pretty simple. Now here's the thing people were getting a little confused on, since the last video was like I said, it broke it into two parts, sadly. I was talking about if we got 50 shares of the video, I would give everybody an additional entry. So that would be an additional name on a land card. Everybody would get that. And if I got 100 shares, I would give away an additional $10 gift card. Now, since that was broken into two videos, people weren't sure which ones to share, so I can understand that. So what we're going to do is if you share this video, that will be the new video to share. So I'm pretty much shifting it from the old video to the new video, since it was in two parts and it was a little confusing. So it's all going to be on this video. So commenting on this video, sharing this video, it will count for all of that. Okay? So that way it's one video, one source, to share and comment on, no confusion. So now it should be a lot simpler. The contest will end. I will announce the winner. Let's see. I want to give it ample time. Today is the 30th of the month because it's after midnight here. So that would make it a what is that? Thursday. Okay, Thursday the 30th. All right. So I want to give it kind of ample time. So let's say. The month is almost over. September 9th, October 10th. All right, so let's say October 7th. That will give us about a little over a month. Okay, there we go. October 7th, I will announce the winner of the contest, and then I will ship out the email the code for the TCG player gift card, or both codes if we get 100 shares of this video. Okay, so there we go. October 7th, so that's 10/7/2018, will be the day of the announcements. I'll do a video announcing who won, and, well, showing, I mean, because I'll be shuffling up and showing you guys with the names and all. It'll be fun. Okay. So there you go. If you have, that should be a lot simpler. But if you guys still have questions, comments, or whatever, put them in the comments and let me know. All right, now all that out of the way, let's get on with the deck. This is a dragon tribal deck I was telling you guys about, because I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do my human ninja tribal for the tournament or this dragon tribal, and I wanted to have two decks, tribal decks, that would fit the tournament rules for whenever it happens, because I really do want to do that. Like, but I wanted to have two available decks so I could have something to choose from. So again, with the tribal theme, this deck has 33 dragons in it to fit our elder dragon. Granted, he's an elder dragon, but he counts as a dragon, for tribal reasons. So that's his tribe. I don't even think there are 33 elder dragons. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's his tribe. He is the new Nicol bolas from M19, and I have him out of sleeve because he is a flip card. He is a planeswalker and a creature, so that's why I have him out of sleeve. All right. But yeah, also with the tribal thing, comment below after you see this. What do you think I should do? The human tribal with Yuriko, or the dragon tribal with Nicol? And I guess whichever deck has the most votes, I'll use that deck at the tournament. If it happens, when it happens, I hope it happens. Anyway, okay, Nicol bolas. He is a 4 mana for 4/4 flying elder dragon, which I think that's a pretty good price right there. He is one colorless, one black, one red. He is a flyer. When he enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. That's pretty good. So 4 mana, for 4/4 flyer, that you're making potentially 3 people discard cards. Potentially, I don't know, how many opponents you're going to have when he comes out, but he's cheap, so he should come out rather soon. So for a 4/4 flyer that discards 3, pretty much, yeah. And if he dies and comes back late game, they discard, or if you flicker him somehow, whatever. Okay, then he's got a 7 mana ability. Exile Nicol bolas the Ravager, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. Activate this only as a sorcery. So for 7 mana, he flips over to his planeswalker side and becomes stupid powerful. Okay, his +2 ability, as you see, he's got 7 loyalty to start with and 4 abilities. His +2 is draw 2 cards. Pretty strong for a +2. He's got a -3, which deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. So if you got an issue on the field, you can pretty much transform him and then nuke it. He's got a -4, which you put target creature or planeswalker from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So if something really cool died, or got blown up, board wiped, or somebody had a cool planeswalker that got killed out, you can steal it from a graveyard. Granted, it does not steal commander planeswalkers or commanders that aren't in the graveyard. Then he's got his -12. Exile all but the bottom card of target player's library. Pretty much, yeah, he's saying you got 2 turns to draw. I mean, until two turns till you lose, because you use this ability on your turn. They have 1 card in the library left. On their turn, they draw it, and then the turn after that, unless they do something crazy like, I don't know, something to get a card in your library, they will lose. So he is very, very powerful. Alright, so he will be our commander. because I really like this card and I really wanted to use him. And yeah, he's awesome. I'm gonna put him back in the sleeve. What I do is for when I play him, um, I leave him on the planeswalker side up, and then I use the little what are they? Yes, placement holder cards for his other side when he's not a planeswalker, because it's easier to keep than to keep flipping them. This is the placeholder card. It shows his mana cost and his name, and I mean everybody knows he's a 4/4 flyer that he comes in there by discards. So when pre flip, I just use that because it's easier than flipping him each time over and over again. You know, it should not be a problem, but still talk to your table, your group before you do it. They really shouldn't have a problem with that at all, because honestly, that's what the placeholder card's for. All right, let's go on to planeswalkers. Now, there's lots of different planeswalkers that fit into these colors, but I tried to keep it a little bit more themed, so I'm only using 4. Um, I would use 5, but I don't have the other Nicol bolas from our dev. But I'm using this one. This was the precon from the dual deck, planeswalker dual deck one. All right, he is uh, 8 mana for 5 loyalty. He's got 3 abilities. Each opponent plus 3. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. -3, destroy target creature, draw a card. -11, deal 7 damage to each opponent, you draw 7 cards. So, lots of mana for so-so. He's got some power to him, but he's not like he's not going to break the game when he comes out, But I liked him because it's another Nicol bolas, and I wanted to have some fun with this deck. Okay. Next one, we have another precon planeswalker. This one's from the M19. 6 mana for a 5 loyalty. Sarkhan, Dragon Soul. +2. Sarkhan Dragon Soul deals 1 damage to target. And I'm sorry, 1 damage to each opponent and each creature your opponent controls. So he pretty much deals 1 damage to everybody but you and your stuff. -3, Dragon Soul deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. And then his -9 in this deck is really, really strong. So if he ever goes off on his -9, yeah, it's GG. -9, search your library for any number of dragon creature cards and put them onto the battlefield. Okay, so with 33 dragons in your deck, if he ever goes ultimate, you can search out pretty much all your dragons that you don't have. There is a small downside to this because if they board wipe you, yeah, you're kind of boned. But it's a pretty strong. What I do with this is I pull out like my haste dragons and maybe 1 or 2 other dragons that have good enter the battlefield effects, just enough that it will secure the game for me, but not all of them, just in case they do have a board wipe. I'm not totally blown out, So that's what I try to do. And again, Sarkhan is a dragon guy, so it's themed. Here we got another Sarkhan. Hold on, I'm trying to refocus this. Alright, this one is 5 mana for 4 loyalty, Planeswalker. +1, until end of turn, he becomes a legendary 4/4 red dragon creature with flying, indestructible, and haste. He doesn't have loyalty until he's a because he's not a planeswalker. So pretty much it's just saying when he becomes a creature, and if he takes damage, he takes damage as a creature, not a planeswalker. Okay, -3, he deals 4 damage to target creature, and then -6, you get an emblem. At the beginning of your draw step, draw 2 additional cards. At the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. So that's a little bit iffy because, yeah, you do draw 2 extra cards, but then you discard your hand. Late game, it's pretty good because, you want to draw those 2 cards, play them real quick, And then if you discard your hand, you won't have anything in your hand, so no big deal. So, but you know, it's kind of iffy on how the board set is, what turn it is, stuff like that. And then our last planeswalker is another Sarkhan, Fireblood. 3 mana for a 3 loyalty. This one's actually probably the better of all the planeswalkers, except for a commander. +1, you draw a card, discard a card if you do draw a card. +1, add 2 mana in any combo. Spin this only to cast a dragon. And then -7, create four 5/5 dragon tokens with flying. So his ultimate doesn't break the game, but you get 20 power on the field. And they're dragons, so there is synergy with that, with other dragons in the deck, you know, that they could work with. Whew. Sorry about that, guys. It's kind of late for me here. All right, so that's our planeswalkers. All right, let's go over to our enchantments. We only have 2. We got this one, 3 mana for a flash enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Now I have this in here because it's an infinite combo win with one of our dragons, and I'll show you which dragon that is right now. Alright, here we go. So that is an infinite win combo with this dragon, which is 6 mana for 4/4, flying. Whenever you draw a card, deal 1 damage to target creature or player. So when you enchant him, and he deals the damage, you draw a card, you deal the damage, you deal the damage, you draw a card. So it's an infinite loop. So as soon as you enchant him, you tap him to draw a card, and then he'll just he'll kill everybody with his damage, because once he draws a card, he deals damage. Once he deals damage, he draws a card, on and so forth until all your opponents die. Pretty fun, but you know, it's an infinite combo, but you know, out of 100 cards, it's not always going to happen for you. And then our other enchantment, Underworld Connections, enchant land, pay a life, draw a card. Pretty simple. Let's go on to our instances. We've got unlicensed disintegration. It destroys a creature. If you got an artifact, its controller deals 3 damage. It takes 3 damage. Pretty simple. I like it because it's only 3 mana to destroy a creature. Then we got Terminate, pretty much almost the same thing, only for 2 mana. Destroy a target creature, can't be regenerated. This one just doesn't have the 3 damage part on it. The good old Chaos Warp, it's pretty much a main staple in red decks. Alright. Let's go on to our sorceries, because we only have a few of them. This is one on X. We've talked about this card in other decks of mine. Legendary Sorcery, which works if you have your commander out. Deals X damage up to 3 targets. So 2 red and X, and you can burn up to 3 targets for whatever your X is. Great when late game when you have lots of mana for a win. Then we got Dark Intimidations, 5 mana. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, or a planeswalker, then discards a card. You return a creature card or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand, and then draw a card. When you cast bolas planeswalker spell, exile Dark Intimidations from your graveyard. That planeswalker enters the battlefield with additional loyalty on it. Not too bad. It helps my my boluses out, and you know, it makes them sack stuff, and you draw cards. All right. Earthquake, an X damage spell to each creature and each player. Now this one is each creature without flying. So since there's only 2 creatures in my deck that don't have flying, this is great because it's one side, not one-sided. It hits everybody except for me, pretty much. With the creature parts, I still take the damage to the player, you know, but it spares all my creatures. Alright, and then we have Bane Fire, another X. I like these X spells in red because they come out. They can come out of nowhere for huge damage. This one's X to creature player. If X is 5 or more, it can't be countered and they can't prevent it. Alright, and then we got our last one, another X for 2 red, and it's got a kicker. If it was kicked, it gains split second. So pretty much X and 3 red, you can do X damage, and then they can't do anything about it because it's split second. Deals X damage to each creature without flying and each player. Again, doesn't hurt your creatures because they all have flying. Alright, we'll go on to our artifacts. Mana Rock, basic Mana Rock, another one. So we got the 3 signets in our colors. Soul Ring, Darksteel Ingot. Again, these are pretty much just basic Mana Rocks. This one is a Mana Rock, but it puts enters the battlefield, put target creature card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. So it's kind of like, recursion, but it's a Mana Rock. We have the Chimes. This one I like because you can give mana to another player. You can also give mana to another player with this one too, or yourself. These say choose a player, so you can choose yourself. So it does work on you. So these are pretty good. I like them because you can be political with them, or you could use them yourself. All right. Another Mana Rock, but this one you can search for the weak Nicol bolas, the Deceiver with it. This one is sort of like a Mana Rock, but your red spells cost 1 less to cast. I mean, you don't tap it for mana, but it gives you all sorts of value because most of the spells in this deck are red. This is a Mana Rock, but works with dragons, so whenever you put a dragon into play, you get a counter, and then you can remove a counter and draw a card by tapping it. And then good old Lightning Greaves for when you just have to have a dragon attack that turn, or if you want your commander to have Shroud. So there's our artifacts. Mainly a lot of Mana Rocks because this deck is a little slow because most of the creatures are high casting cost, so we want a lot of Mana Rocks to help offset that. And we'll start with our creatures. Dragon Hatchling, Fire Breathing 0/1, simple stuff. Here's one of my favorite dragons. It's new, 5/4 for 5. It's got landfall, makes a dragon egg. Then we got a 5/5 for 6. Destroy an artifact. You pay for it, destroy an artifact, gets XL until end of turn, where X is the converted mana cost of the artifact. We have a 7 mana for 5/4, Surge for 5. So if you cast another spell, you can Surge it for 5. I don't know which would be cheaper, honestly. You save 2 mana by doing the Surge, but most of your spells in this deck cost a lot anyway, so who knows. Anyway, when it enters the battlefield, if the Surge was cost, it deals 3 damage to target creature player. This one I love because it's 6/6 for 6. Flying when another non-token dragon comes into play, make a 5/5 red dragon token with flying, and then dragon pay 2 mana, and all dragons get +1/+0 until end of turn. 5 mana for 4/5. This one has whenever a dragon you control attacks, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Now this is awesome because all your dragons trigger this, and they all get the ability. So if you got a bunch of dragons out, they get crazy big. And these got dash, which gives them haste, but you return them back to your hand at your end step. So pretty much he can come in with haste to kind of lead the charge kind of thing. 6 mana for a 4/4. Whenever a Shockmaw Dragon deals combat damage to a player, deals 1 damage to each creature that player controls. 4 mana for 3/3, and it's got different abilities. It's got Fire Breathing, First Strike, or Haste. This one has Flying and Haste. Hold on, let me try to fix this. Alright, so this one's Flying Haste, and it lets you cast your sorceries with Flash. So it kind of turns your sorceries into instances. 5 mana for 5/5. I like this one because when it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to a target opponent unless they sack a creature. So they're either going to take 5 or sack a creature. Now, if you target an opponent that doesn't have a creature, they take 5. Here we go. 6 mana for 5/5. When it dies, get control of target creature. The old Nicol bolas. This one's 8 mana for 7/7. You sack it unless you pay one of each of his colors during your upkeep. When it deals damage to an opponent, that the player discards his or her hand. So he's got a big drawback, but he's got a big ability too. Dragon Mage, 7 mana for 5/5. When he deals damage to a player, each player discards his hand and draws 7 cards. This is a good one if you don't have any cards in your hand. You draw 7. Or you can make alliances with a player and say, hey, don't block. You need a new hand. If you don't block, we can get you a new hand. That kind of thing. Shivan Dragon, simple fire breathing. Haunted Dragon, 5 mana for 6/6, flying and haste. But when it enters the battlefield, target opponent gets 3/2/2 white knights. So yeah, you can fly over them. So that's not a huge deal. Noxious Dragon, 6 mana for a 4/4 flyer. When it dies, when Noxious Dragon dies, you may destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. Spark Tongue, 5 mana for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you can pay 3. It deals 3 damage to any target. So a lot of these are like they come into play and deal damage, which is pretty cool because it helps keep board control. Flying Haste, and this one has Lieutenant, which if your commander is out, it gets +2 or +2, and whenever it attacks, it deals 7 damage to target creature defending player controls. So as long as you got your commander out, it's a 7/7 Flying Haste that burns something for 5 when it attacks. Alright, 6 mana for 5/5. When it attacks, you can pump into it X and a red. X, if you do, X deals X damage to any target. So this is kind of like one of those fireballs on a creature, fireball on a stick, which is really awesome to knock somebody out of the game. Pretty good card. 8 mana for 5/5. Flash Flying. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. This one's a 3/4 for 6. It's got partner. Its partner is not in this deck, so that its partner is irrelevant. It's flying and haste. Knights your team control have flying and haste. So pretty much it's just a dragon in this deck because its partner's not here. Alright, 7 mana. This one, Dream Pillager, when it deals combat damage to a player, exile that many cards from the top of your library. Until end of turn, you may cast target 9-land card exiled this way. So it kind of digs for answers if you got mana to play them. This is very situational. Alright. 6 mana for 5/5. All creatures attack each combat if able. And then it's pretty much got fire breathing for all creatures attacking creatures for 2. Flying hexproof. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, creatures the defending player control gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Now it says whenever a dragon you control attacks, so this can wipe out an opponent's board if you have enough dragons attacking. All right, 4/4 for 4, kicker of 3. If you pay the kicker, you get a 4/4 red dragon token with flying. 9 mana for 5/4. It's got assist, but I doubt anybody's going to assist you with it. I don't know. It could if you know you need to take something out like a planeswalker or something, but it's iffy. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to target creature and opponent controls. All right, 5 mana for 4/4. Flying. When Hoarding Dragon enters the battlefield, search your library for an artifact, exile it. When Hoarding Dragon dies, you can put the exiled card into your hand. Alright, Sarkhan's Whelp. This one's pretty cool because it's flying, and whenever you activate a Sarkhan ability, deal 1 damage to any target, and we have 3 different Sarkhans. So this could potentially do 3 damage a turn. Just saying. Good old Glorybringer, 5 mana for a 4/4 flying haste. When it enters the battlefield, you may exert it as it attacks. If you do, deal 4 damage to target non-dragon creature and opponent controls. I like it because it's 4/4 flying haste. The exert's a bonus if you need it, but I usually don't exert it. Steel Hellkite, 6 mana, 5/5 flying. It's got fire breathing, sort of, only it's 2 colorless. And then you could pay X, destroy each non-land permanent with X converted mana cost. To whoever you attack that you dealt damage to. So if you dealt damage to somebody, you could pay X and destroy all their permanents with X converted mana cost. You can only actually activate the ability once a turn, but still very, very good. So if you're fighting somebody with a lot of tokens, you could pay X as 0 and just blow up all their tokens. It's pretty strong. Alright, we've got Volcanic Dragon. Pretty basic 4/4 flying haste. Alright, and then we've got 7 mana for a 5/5 flyer. It's got flying haste. And it's got 2 mana. It gets XO till end of turn for where X is the number of artifacts you control. Alright, so that's our dragons. Then our 2 non-dragon creatures are pretty simple. We got good old Dragon Lord Servant, which make dragon spells cost 1 less to cast. And then we've got good old Nightscape Familiar, which make blue spells and red spells cost 1 less to cast. So they're just kind of helpers. Alright, so that's our 35 creatures, 33 of which are dragons. Let's get to our mana base. We've got 4 basic mountains, 2 basic swamps, and 2 islands. Pretty basic on the basics. Then our non-basics consist of Checkland. This one is a Scryland, but yeah, pretty much Scryland, yeah. This one can turn into an elemental. Bajuka Bog. Ancient Zendikar. This one, it can be any mana, but only for creatures. Mana Wash. This is that new land. I love it because it's great for Planeswalker commanders. This one can give haste, which is great. Fetch land. Command Tower. recursion land, memorial that blows up a target land, memorial that recurs a creature back, multicolored land, Opal Palace. And these are pretty basic, you know, pretty standard. Path of Ancestry, Cycle Land, Cycle Land, Cycle Land. Like I said, pretty basic land package. Tap land, tap land, another tap land, uh, different tap land, another one. Pretty much all the different color tap lands that would fit into these colors. Pain land, tap land to gain your life, tap land to gain your life, another tap land to gain your life, and a final tap land to gain your life. So, that's our mana base. It's 38 mana. And granted, it might sound a little high, but like I said, a lot of these dragons are pretty expensive, so we never want to have mana issues, you know, because I tested this out. I haven't played against anybody, but you know, in testing of the drawing and stuff, draw testing and stuff, I've done it quite a few times, tweaking the mana base a little bit each time. With 35 and 36 mana, I got mana problems quite often. At 38, it was pretty. It actually was a lot better at 38, so that's why I just left it at 38. It seemed the most consistent. All right, so that's my tribal dragons deck with Nicol bolas, and we've gone over the rules of the contest. Um, that you guys have seen all my current commander decks. You know, my Saheeli, my Lord Windgrace, my two tribals, and then my competitive one, I guess you would call it. I am going to make an Amanatu deck. I really want to make an Amanatu deck because I do like Amanatu, and I do like the Planeswalkers as commanders thing. So I'm going to make one of those within the next few days and try to give that a shot. And I also want to make a mill deck. So I do have some ideas for new decks. But if you guys, you know, want to leave comments saying, you know, suggesting a new type of deck I should build or something, you know, you guys want to see, hey, try this commander, make a deck for it, whatever. Or just, you know, a deck in general, deck idea in general. Let me know. I want to do a 5-color deck too, so I've got some ideas of decks I want to try out, try to make, and have some fun with. So you know, just leave in the comments maybe a deck ideas you want to see next, and I'll do my best to make that deck. You know, and leaving a comment of any type will get you an entry into the contest. So there you go. It gives you more incentive. So just let me know. Leave them comments. Get your entries into the contest, and good luck. Remember, it will be on the 7th. So that's October 7th. So that's 10/7/2018. I'll be announcing or showing the winner, doing the drawing. So check that out. And good luck to everyone. Hope you guys have a great weekend coming up. And, you know, have fun. Magic in the Basement signing out.